folks. Welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name is Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Balding.
My name is Roger Norquist.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstrogo presents Hemispheria, a brand new content unlockable on any Monstrogo-enabled GPS device. Reveal Hemispheria. Pick a new class. By Monstrogo. Apparently it's coming with a new class. A new continent.
So if you're bored with the old classes, here's a new one to try out.
They don't say what it is, but generally speaking, with Monstrogo, they'll give you some sort of a cursed weapon when you get there.
Now, Hemispheria makes me seem like it's a mapping thing we all go on.
Yeah,
you may have been driving along, or even just goofing around on Google Maps or something, and you've seen that big blocked out part, the big grayed out area
that's right beyond the ice wall,
kind of a fog. Yes, it's surrounded by an ice wall filled with fog, and there's kind of roiling within it if you look long enough. That is Hemispheria, and it has previously been locked to people who don't have Monstrogo premium GPS devices, and now basically they're releasing it so anyone can just buy the content without having to subscribe to Monstrogo Premium. You won't get the same protections. You will be subject to the ear stealers and the shrieking menace, of course, that haunts the forests of Hemispheria, but you get that new class. And you get that cursed weapon, and that should help. Actually, when I went, I got a cursed harmonica, which was fun.
You like being the bard classes. Much respect.
I do. I love a control. I love a control class. I wonder what that says about me. Anyway, check out Hemispheria if you dare. By Monstrogo. I have been there. I can't really talk about it.
Since we're in the world anyway, I might as well get it if it's free DLC.
Yeah, you got to unlock all the content, just if you got to go there. Later on, there could be some stuff that takes place in Hemispheria that we need to access.
Yeah, well, they have a new season every 5 months or so.
It's a season-based continent. They, I believe they're currently in the middle of kind of a Westworld thing. We've got kind of a Western... There's cowboy hats for everyone.
I'm looking for a gun-based class. I hope it's gun-based. I know you can't say anything, but
you could get a cursed gun. I've seen them around. I can drop some hints. I can't get specific.
Gotcha.
About the curses or which aging, overweight Russian national action star it might turn you into if you don't reload it in time and accidentally fire a blank chamber. Anyway, how you guys doing?
I'm doing great. How about you and Nate? I assume we're all doing great. Barely surviving the darkness, which is ever encroaching, of course.
Yeah, but that's, our baseline.
Yeah. It's good to be down here in the bunker as the shadows grow thicker above. We hope you're doing okay up there on the surface, people of what we now call the shadow top.
Yeah.
It's terrifying up there.
War, famine, pestilence.
We probably never should have relocated the sun solely to the middle of the planet.
It seemed so wise in the moment. All right,
because the sun is inside the earth, and that's where plants grow.
Right.
So bring the sun closer to the plants.
Yeah. This is Sam Tallent's knowledge rubbing off on Werewolf Radar many years later. Snakes are near the ground. All right, we're wading into the swamps of lore. I have some spooky stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. May I?
I'll go second. Nate, you close us out.
Spook us with that spooking skull.
I'm going to spook you with the spooking skull. I'm going to go ahead and take the speaking skull. I like the spooking skull. I'm not going to lie. That might be a thing. I'm going to take the speaking skull and I'm going to open the single serve the single-serve plastic packaging that it is contained in, and I will dump it out onto my tray table. And I would like to talk to you guys about aviation's top 8 most intriguing ghost stories. This is from actually the U.S. Department of Defense.
Ooh, they're trustworthy. You can always believe what they say.
Defense.gov. Marines tell tales of 2 haunted aircraft.
Okay, I like this. Souls of soldiers or souls of...
2 Marine Corps
Killed.
KC-130F aerial refueling aircraft are said to be haunted by Marines who worked and flew on them. These are the ones with the dick.
Yeah.
Wait, what? The refuels?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they're the dick ones.
Yeah. The nose number of the 149800 was 800, and the nose number of the 149808 was 808. Because the number 8 looks similar to the letter B, the aircraft were nicknamed Boo and Bob, respectively.
Hilarious.
That's fun. That's fun for me.
Military men truly are just people like us caught up in a system that they are just victims of as well. Just having fun with names.
They just like me for real. Delbert H. Cogswell Jr. worked in a Marine aerial refueler transport squadron 152.
Speaking of people having fun with names.
Better. Yeah, Delbert H. Cogswell, notable steampunk warrior.
Recently changed back into a human after the beast
Yeah.
kissed a lady.
He's multi-classing now. He does a little bit of magic as well.
Yeah. Better known as VMGR 152. That's
Okay,
the name of their squad.
All right.
Marine Corps Air Station Futenma, Okinawa, Japan in the 1980s and 90s where Bob and Boo resided. This is a quote. There are many stories of feeling uneasy or feeling watched while working on those 2 aircraft during the night shift, which for us was all night long on most nights. Most Marines in the maintenance department would not work on those planes by themselves, said Cogswell.
I'm glad that they defined what a night shift would be during the night.
I always felt as if I was being watched just while walking by them at night. Even with all the lighting that we had in the flight line, a few claimed to see a figure that shouldn't have been there. Shapes and shadows that come and go. Just an uneasy feeling. Not sure how many bodies were transported, but there were a lot, he said. So it's a bit of a flying triage situation.
Oh, no.
Nice. Getting people to and fro hospitals as they bleed out.
Apparently.
Ripe soil.
Hank
For the
G-Race, a member of VMGR 152 flight crew and mechanic, said of Boo, I've seen the profile of someone in the pilot's seat while securing the aircraft for the night. Another time I was working on that bird when I heard someone come on the plane and start walking around through the cargo department and on top of the bird. Only thing was that at the time I was sitting under the only accessible hatch.
Yeah, these are all
Yeah, that's disturbing.
it would make me as in the grave nugget. Check out our Patreon. You'll soon see a $1 tier. That way more people can support financially if they can. We understand a lot of stuff sucks right now and people want to. So soon a $1 tier.
Raj, I sent you a picture of Boo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say boobs there.
Well,
because of the previous pictures.
Yeah, scan back.
All right, let me
look, it's not my problem if you guys are made uncomfortable by the form of a female airplane, It's a natural.
It's not that I'm uncomfortable, it's that I've learned something about myself. All right, Jordan?
There absolutely has to be some sort of weird Transformers hentai out there, right?
Oh, hell yeah. You want to find some later?
I wouldn't know anything about that. All right, I'm going to move my head.
I can just move you, Jordan. Don't worry about it.
I think it's wild that it's like the window's blocked out so ghosts can't look out at everyone.
You can sit normally, Jordan. I moved you.
Oh.
And
well,
they
now you
did-
moved
they
me
did the
over
right
one of the
thing
things I wanted
by-
to show you,
No, I fixed it. Don't worry. You're good.
which is this skull.
Oh, my bad. I gotcha.
The skull and crossbones over the hatch with the eye patch.
Yeah, there's a lot of high strangeness here.
Pretty
I
spooky.
would have completed this and wrote another 8 on there for boob, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's very funny. Jason J. Casanova, maintenance controller, said of Boo, I heard a story about a person who was walking toward the back of the aircraft to make sure all the doors were secured as he was leaving. As he was walking, he saw someone dressed in old fatigues sitting in the parachute seat looking out the window. When he looked again, the figure was gone. Most of the stories seem to be about Boo.
Boo seems to be got a history. A grisly one, even though it's positive that, that's a lot of negativity, negative energy, the death of war.
It does seem like if you occasionally are in the business of picking up a bunch of bodies, calling your plane basically the ghost plane. I don't know. You're working some weird magic here.
I also went to
You're asking for it.
A Reddit page, a Reddit thread from about a year ago on our aviation maintenance.
Okay.
Called Ghosts on a Plane. Have you ever had any weird / paranormal things happen to you while working on a plane? At my current job, there are people who won't go into certain planes by themselves due to things they've seen / heard. Seen. Footsteps, dark spots, overhead bins latching, etc. I personally have never had any experiences like that, but curious if any of you have.
Rotors that haven't been properly secured.
This also sounds like some of that gremlin shit you would hear about back in the 40s.
The old gremlins. So the top comment is, had a wrench about ground itself one time in a junction box. That was on me, but I've never been able to figure out who shit my pants.
Bingo bingo.
Electricians are fun people.
They are. So, the next top comment is, I've had it with these motherfucking ghosts on this motherfucking plane. The next top
these
comment
guys are fun.
All right.
is from a guy called Big Nose 703. N8888D Crazy Eights was a CRJ 2000 we had at Endeavor that just had the weirdest continual unrelated maintenance issues. Sometime in the mid-2000s, apparently a guy died in the lab and the crew left the plane and the cleaners found him. He never left the plane. Then he says, I think it's finally been sent to the desert.
Where airplanes go to die.
Number one. Sorry. The response to that is the number one response is, can confirm this airplane was haunted. There was always something wrong with it, and daily you would hear it on the hub radios calling for maintenance. Last I heard, it was in Kingman, but the landing gear had ripped out and was sent back into the Endeavor fleet somewhere, probably haunting another airplane. My coworker had the battery disconnected and still got voltage once. And then a guy says, thanks for the chuckle. So apparently that's more electrician humor. We had an old CRJ 200 that someone died in N8888. That's the same plane, right?
Yeah. From what I understand, Crazy Eights.
Crazy Eights. Can't say I've seen a ghost, but that plane always had the weirdest shit happening on it. And then another year later, this is the same right after. Pilot here. I didn't know someone died in Crazy Eights, but everyone knew about that plane. I think that was the one that I spent 4 days on that was supposed to be a continuous duty overnight because the AC Essential bus would drop offline right before the blobber and blobbity blah. We would spend hours and hours messing with it, think it was fixed. We'd come out 15 minutes later and the bus would drop offline. Did that for 4 days before the company sent me home on another aircraft because I ran out of legality. I preferred flying Spirit of Memphis Belle with all her problems over Crazy Eights. The Belle was just worn out and problematic. Crazy Eights, it was like the airplane was toying with you.
So I think what we are learning as far as preparedness goes, don't fly a plane that has a name.
Yeah.
But how do you not name these guys? Especially after the Cars movie introduced some airplanes.
Oh, I almost sent you the planes picture.
Don't fly a plane that has a nickname. I
can't tell you guys the relief of me getting that right, as I've never seen the Cars movies nor know any of the universe. So there is an airplane Cars. I assume there would be because of the universe.
Wait, isn't one of the cars named Crash?
Crash Bandicoot.
No. Crash Flash Thompson, right? I don't know. That's for Spider-Man. Yeah. Who cares? Okay. Sorry. I blew it. I don't know the name of that guy.
None of us have seen any of the Cars, and
no, sure. Why would I?
Hang on, give me a second. He says,
"Has of course."
I'm more of a toys man.
What does he say? Vavoom or something? No, here's another one. I'm not a huge believer in ghosts, but I've had some freaky shit happen to me at a hangar at work. Our company founder passed in 2021, but I knew him from when I was a little kid. I've worked a few late nights where I'm the only one in the hangar and have seen stuff out of the corner of my eye and even felt somebody tap me on the shoulder once while I was in Cherokee 6 installing a new instrument panel. Before being tapped, all the hair on the back of my arm stood up, but the funny thing about it is ghosts or paranormal crap wasn't even on my mind, lol. I was just listening to an audiobook with my AirPods in. Grabbed my stuff and left so fast. My coworkers and boss have seen / heard weird stuff too. We like to think it's our founder, yet being a our founder just being a jokester in the afterlife if there is one. Interesting.
Someone who really loved the company, the planes. I could see that as well. That seems more traditional.
Yeah.
I mean, all these seem. It does seem like, as we were talking earlier, planes are an acceptable edifice for some ghosts.
Yeah. This one's about a helicopter. My uncle died in a helicopter crash. R.I.P. Uncle Kevin. There's a UH-34 at one of our local museums, and every docent / attendant there has mentioned it's significantly haunted. UH-34 was a Huey. Those were the medevacs in Vietnam.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, not
I believe. I could be wrong about that. Don't take me to task. That's just what I'm gleaning from this. Not an underwater helicopter. Another design of the forward-thinking but much ridiculed Polish military industrial complex. I have no idea about the UH-34, but I want to say I've heard stories of Hueys running medevac in Vietnam, moving so many wounded / dead that opening the door, blood would run out like water.
Yeah, I've heard some stories like that on some shit. Some people got cut up bad. I'm
not a real superstitious guy, but I'd say if you're ever going to have a haunted helo, one used for medevac should be your best bet. And then this guy says 34s were doing the heavy lifting in most of Vietnam. Huey's got the association with Nam because they arrived. The 34 is different from the Huey. There you go. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. Those are some firsthand accounts about haunted planes. I also wanted to talk briefly about the Eastern Airlines Flight 401.
Ooh, I have no idea what you're referring to because planes have so many goddamn numbers. Can we please name them like hurricanes?
Sure. Gladys.
Yeah.
Andrew. Mm-hmm. The plane.
United Airlines Gladys.
Yeah.
Southwestern Phil.
Eastern Airlines Flight 401 was a scheduled flight from John F. Kennedy International Airport in Queens, New York, United States to Miami International Airport in Miami, Florida. United States. What a weirdly... It's a fucking plane that's going from John F. Kennedy to Miami, okay?
Gotcha. I understood that.
Okay. The crash occurred while the entire flight crew were hang on, sorry. Shortly before midnight on December 29th, 1972, the Lockheed L-1011-1 TriStar crashed into the Florida Everglades. All 3 cockpit crew members, 2 of the 10 flight attendants, and 96 of the 163 passengers were killed. 75 people survived, with 53 of them suffering serious injuries. Wild. The crash occurred while the entire flight crew were preoccupied with a burnout landing gear indicator light. The captain bumped the yoke on the aircraft, causing it to turn off the autopilot. Due to the focus on the landing gear, the minimal changes in the cockpit, the pilots didn't notice. Because of this, the aircraft gradually lost altitude and crashed. Yikes.
Oh, guys, pay attention. You should have a checklist like every 20 minutes to go like, that normal? All right. I'm sure they do, but I know nothing about piloting.
It was also being piloted by a trio of alligators.
You can only ask so much.
I've got some information about the crash here
back
on the Wikipedia page. I've got a chilling quote from the air traffic control. If you would like to hear it,
yes.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Is it just a guy screaming?
No, this is Stockstill, who I believe was the pilot. Trying to get confirmation on that. Just trying to get confirmation on that.
Get confirmation, Jordan.
He said, we did something to the altitude. Loft said, what? Stockstill said, we're still at 2,000 feet, right? Loft said, hey, what's happening here? And then they crashed.
No. So the altimeter was wildly off?
Yeah, well, he bumped the autopilot, and they didn't notice. It happened so gradually that they were like skimming trees or something, and it was like, no. Anyway,
I mean, that seems like
it seems like there should have been a lot of extra checks. I agree with you, Nate, but it happened.
Accident. However, down, squirreled away toward the bottom of the Wikipedia page, is a little segment called "Reported Ghost Sightings."
Okay.
In the months and years following the crash, stories began circulating that numerous employees of the passengers of Eastern had reported sightings of deceased crew members Loft and Repo sitting aboard other L-1011s, in particular N318EA.
Okay.
These stories speculated that the sightings were connected to the fact that parts of the crashed aircraft were salvaged after the investigation and refitted into other L-1011s.
Oh, no.
The reported hauntings were said to have been seen only on the planes that used the spare parts. Gossip regarding the sightings spread through the airline to the extent that Eastern's management warned employees that they could be dismissed if caught spreading ghost stories.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's stupid.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on here.
I got talked to one time at a comedy club about talking about the ghost.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Fuck them.
That's so funny. The CEO dismissed the ghost stories as garbage. Although they reportedly removed all the salvage parts from their L-1011 fleet. Over time, the reporting of ghost sightings stopped. An original floorboard from the Flight 401 remains in the archives at History Miami in South Florida. Pieces of the plane's wreckage can also be found in Ed and Lorraine Warren's Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut.
Of course, yeah.
The story of the crash and its aftermath were documented in John G. Fuller's 1976 book, The Ghost of Flight 401. Fuller recounts stories of paranormal events aboard Eastern aircraft and the belief that these were caused by equipment salvaged from the wreckage. A television movie of the Fuller's book was made, emphasizing the ghost stories. It was broadcast in 1978. Resulting in a lawsuit from Eastern Airlines. It's blobber and blobbity blah, infliction of emotional distress.
I do love a made-for-TV movie that was sued by a thing that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. No Eastern Airlines employees, according to the airport, to the airline, have ever reported any ghost sightings. But yeah, that seems to be a thing. It's almost like when you take like organs out of transplant people and put them into someone else, and they have like some weird connection to them psychically or something.
Yeah, it's surprising none of these airplanes have become serial killers.
Well, that does it for my segment that I'm calling "Come Fly Our Scary Skies."
Excellent. Bravo, Jordan.
Now pass the speaking skull to whomever would enjoy it.
I shall take it and continue our ghost adventures with us deciding if we got a case of some real ghost footage or if this is a prank. Cue the informational card bringing us to the next segment. So, gentlemen, I have for us, where's my window? I got for us 5 videos that we're going to go through.
Okay.
And we're going to dictate if this is a ghost or if this is some sort of prank.
Now, do we have a definitive end to this? Do we know that one is which?
No, we have no idea at all.
Or this is just okay.
None of these are confirmed. All of these are somewhat recent in the paranormal world. Brought to us by...
Body is ready. My mind is prepared.
Your body is ready. Mind is prepared. Everyone head to the YouTube, although we'll describe the videos for those of you listening in the podcast form, but YouTube is really the place to view this and subscribe and hit the notify button and I don't know, do the werewolf. The Werewolf Radar's new dance coming out summer.
Everybody do the werewolf.
2025.
Doing the werewolf.
So this one I pulled from r/paranormal encounters from one Fat Sack.
So
let's go to let's hit the play. So here we are in some sort of
Fat
office.
Sack. What an absolute pro.
And that's the paranormal thing that happened. One more time. Pretty steady shelf, and then that drill just kind of jumps the fuck out of there. So they're in a warehouse. Everything's still. It's pretty secure shelving, and then a power drill, just kind of leaps out of the shelf and knocks down some screws and whatnot. Nothing major. I do like how the guy who's drinking a soda just kind of views it nonchalantly. Like, this happens all the time.
That's weird. I'm going to say genuine.
Nate?
I think that there was a child off screen pulling a piece of fishing wire.
Okay.
I'm going to go genuine, but I do like always having a skeptic on the side. Child with fishing wire. Let's go to the second one. This one is brought to us by one Fearsome Top 5.
I hate it already.
Huh?
I hate it already.
Yeah, no, yeah. This one's frightening. This one's my ghost. Let's check it out.
No.
Now that could be it just falling. But basically there's a doll. It seems to be moving. Its head fell down. But then I do think that it went up a couple times.
So this is very clearly a creepy doll display, quote unquote.
Oh yeah, it's moving. Goddamn ad.
We got a crazy...
Now hang on.
It continues to be a creepy doll display.
Carpe.
I think I need some sand. This is clearly a creepy doll display, and the type of person who would set up a creepy doll display is the type of person who wants to capture weirdo stuff like this.
It goes back up. Why is the camera like this? Of course, go on.
I think this would be tough. I think this would be easy to fake, but I also think dolls are weird.
I've seen a doll move almost exactly like this, where it goes back
skeptical.
up. Like, I've seen this type of shit from a doll. And it moved back up. That's what really gets me. To where, like, you got 2 wires? Did you set up a pulley system?
Yeah, well, it could just be somebody in the back, like, pulling it up and pushing it down.
Get out of here with your reasonable solutions. Nate, what do you think?
Well, I think that a heavy magnet was put inside of the doll's head, and there's a child off screen using a different heavy magnet to raise it.
Magnets, how do they work?
Well, that's the thing. We do know how they work.
I have no idea.
They work to make this doll's head raise.
Magnets?
All right.
How do they work?
So I'm thinking, Jordan, you're sussy on this. I'm all about it. Nate, once again, you're going child, but this time with the magnet.
I'm sussing it.
Number 3. Once again, check out Fearsome Top 5. They have all sorts of videos that earnestly made me yelp from fear earlier. I'm gonna give them a like, and I guess subscribe. There you go.
Like, I'm in here, bro, just alone, and it's like mad weird, bro.
He's in a bathroom right now.
Like, what if there was some
it's mad
monster
weird.
or some just pop up on me? That shit would be crazy, bro. So I don't know. Like, there's nobody in here. You can come down and shit. I don't even know, bro, but yeah, there's nobody right here, bro, but this shit is crazy, bro.
Already feels like he's trying to sell something.
Mad.
Oh.
What the f?
A door opened that was shut earlier.
After looking through the stalls, Ron realized he was completely alone, or so he thought. As he turned around, the door on the last stall quickly opened. A pitch-black hand opened the door, then vanished into the stall. And as Rom stared ahead, a ghostly face suddenly lunged forward.
What do we think about that? That's the ghost shit. Do we think this is a hard sell and this is just his friend?
Crazy, bro. But I don't know.
I think this is epic levels of not wanting people to hear you poop.
What the f?
I think his buddy was in the middle stall and just jumped over when he left.
I don't know, but that's mad.
I do think
there
that
it is
was
again.
A child off screen
You can see the
who
head
had a
and whatnot.
magnet with a fishing wire attached to that door.
I'm sus AF.
This one's easy enough to fake. You just stay behind the cameraman.
He's on that toilet right there. Or he's just right behind him, yeah.
Yeah, he's just right behind him. That's the easiest way to fake this. Your buddy's back there. He's behind you the whole time, so he just matches your turns, tries to be as quiet as possible.
Yeah.
He remains in there.
Truly.
And then pops up and says hello. Number 4 on my list of 5. Thank you once again for sharing your story or your cousin's story, Fat Sack.
Fat Sack.
And Fearsome Top 5. Please subscribe to them. They're doing better than us. Subscribe to us first and then subscribe to them. We're past 1,000, everyone. Thank you very much.
Fuck yes.
So this one is a blink ring footage. Obviously, it's that movement
Just
going on in
beyond
the
white
back.
fence, something unsettling was captured. In the neighbor's driveway, a dark silhouette darted from side to side. This unnerving figure rapidly moved in a very unnatural way, a way that doesn't seem physically possible for a person.
Yeah, that's weird.
Nope, that's raccoons. Where were we? There we are.
Well, I would like to add raccoons into the paranormal
At first,
taxonomy.
At first, when I was looking at this, I thought it could be a bug. Let's go back to the beginning of it. But then it's behind the stuff. Like, it's not in front of the lens. It's behind the pole.
It's literally just on the
sidewalk.
Yeah, that's weird.
But you could maybe do that if you had like, I don't know,
a really fast child
on top of it, and you were like waving it.
I guess this could be like, okay. This could be like,
you just have to, because it's a shadow. You're getting the sun in the right direction.
It's nighttime.
Yeah, but
is it nighttime? No,
but there's like there's like a street light there, and maybe something's hanging from the street light, flapping in the wind.
And then it would only be over there versus right there.
But the weird thing is, you kind of see it on the sidewalk too, and it truly looks like someone's disembodied shadow.
This is the most believable one that I found, I think, truly. And it's
very weird. I think it's weird.
It made me a believer, even though I already was, you know?
I'm not convinced, but I think it's strange. I'm going to say less sus.
Nate, you think it's a child on the lamp pole?
Yeah, I guarantee you that's a child that's on top of a lamp pole who's using a fishing wire with a magnet that they're using to clamp down onto the lamp.
Yeah,
that's why they have the magnet.
Yeah. We're all familiar with
and they're saying hello.
Lamppost hanging, lamppost dangling.
All right, so I got one more. This one has a bit of backstory. A lot's happening to this guy. He has an attic where he's hearing movement up in and no one's clearly there. He'll see like the cord from it dangle as he's entering the garage. Some weird stuff. He's starting to hear stuff now in other parts of his house. This time, as you can maybe read if you're on the YouTube, the basement.
I'm already scared as hell. My fiance's home now, so it's a little bit better. But I don't want to go down there. Gosh dang.
So he opens the door. He's looking down there.
It was probably just the air conditioner making a freaking noise or something. You know what I mean? Well, okay, no. Okay.
What you might have heard, and I'll go back, was a disembodied child's voice. One more time.
I haven't heard it again anyway. But it was probably just the air conditioner making a freaking noise or something. You know what I mean? Well, okay, no. Okay.
So going.
That was no toy. That was no toy, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was ridiculous. Yeah, let's just not.
As Kyle stared down the basement stairs.
And then followed by one more time.
Yeah, let's just not.
It seemed to go up the stairs to hit the door.
Yeah, let's just not.
As Kyle stared down the basement stairs.
I mean, that is certainly scary. Is it
this
real?
One, I don't think this is real. I don't think this is legitimate footage on this one. This one did not have me as a believer, but I thought it was creepy. I thought it was scary.
The fella's being a little theatrical.
He is.
I would like to point out that going into this whole segment, I did not think that saying there might be a child on screen was going to be
a legitimate.
No, it really worked out this time. You're thinking, as am I, it's either editing, which is easy to do audio wise, or you just get your neighbor's small child to be down there, make the noise, then come up the stairs. No editing necessary.
This will be the only one that I say is genuinely a ghost.
All right.
Well, that's my segment, gentlemen.
Well,
I hope you all played along at home. Let us know in the comments what you thought about my 5 examples of paranormal.
I would like to say that I love the segment, and I want to do this more.
It's a good segment.
This is good shit.
I'm doing it more. It's more interactive. It's more engaging.
React videos. That's what the kids love. I'll get in a hot tub and scream at the top of my lungs.
Wait, no, I need to make a hot tub for us
because it's so hot. Ah! Ah!
The burning! The burning!
Fucking
And that's how the screaming skull
Twitch, but yeah, exactly. The screaming skull lore. Just Twitch bits rolling in. Ching, 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 ching. We love it. We love this.
How much would take off the swim trunks?
Nate, about, I don't know, 50 bits. Is that a lot?
Yeah, I don't know the conversion. Oh, I'm not wearing any. Are you guys wearing swim trunks? I'm wearing a doormat that says welcome, like Homer Simpson in that one episode. I have misplaced my pants.
Nate, the speaking skull is yours.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so I had a touch of food poisoning last week.
Okay.
Which got me to thinking in the bathroom where I spent a lot of time. And I was wondering, because we all know a little bit about bathroom monsters.
I know some yokai.
Mostly yokai, yeah. But I figured there's got to be more than just that. It can't only be Japanese stuff.
Sure.
So I have a segment that I'm going to, I guess, call... Well, you know what? Here's an article name that I think really gets to the point. The terror in the toilet. What's up with bathroom ghosts? And why are they watching our unfinished business?
And truly a thing. It's scary. It's scary in there.
I've been in some restrooms. When I went to Glenwood Springs,
I bet
man,
you have, Panama Red.
The Union Station restroom is the most haunted thing they got in that building. That building is many decades old,
Dude,
maybe a century.
I might have been in that same bathroom and had a very similar experience. In Glenwood?
Oh, no, that one's fine. Oh, first of all, that place is ran by a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
The train station in Glenwood Springs, that man has been there.
Just Glenwood Springs in general. The mayor is certainly a ghost.
Yes.
Yeah, he's actually a cache of dynamite from 1870.
Exactly.
Dressed up. So this thing does go on to, and there were, because like we all know, Hanako really is the main yokai that I think we hear about. But there are actually a bunch of other Japanese bathroom ghosts that I didn't necessarily know about. Tales about the first and most mysterious of the washroom waifs, Akai Kami, date back as early as 1930. This is the masked Akai Kami asks his victims, and I think we have actually talked about this person before, to choose red or blue toilet paper, and depending on what you choose, you might just get stabbed.
I don't know if you have the list, but what was the choice again? Let's make the choice right now. Let's see who lives or who goes unstabbed or stabbed. What are the choices?
Well, you have red and blue.
I choose blue.
I'll choose red.
Okay, you've both chosen wrong.
It's one of these yokai, huh?
Choosing red means Akai Kami will stab or flay his victims, while choosing blue means that he will merely strangle them and drain their blood.
Oh.
No good choice.
However,
I got
choosing yellow toilet paper it just means that he either pisses on you or drowns you in your own toilet.
Well, the really extremes there.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
But it's the safer choice.
Well, you can also choose just white toilet paper, non-colored, and you're fine.
Oh,
But what fun is that?
well, that's the kind I want to use.
I'm over here pooping, man. I'm trying to have fun while doing it. I'm trying to add color.
There's a reason I pay $7 extra per square for the Rocco's Modern Life bath tissue.
In some versions of the story, the color of paper chosen means that a red tongue or white hand will rise up from the toilet to terrorize the victim.
Nice. I have fears
So-
of this.
Really,
that's the
even
scary-
even if you do go no color, there's a possibility that a giant white hand comes up and
Yikes.
I
Why,
don't know,
why is
does
it
some
gotta be
stuff.
white?
Well, because it maybe starts
Got
happening
gin.
after 1945.
It definitely represents the encroaching whites. They're coming for your sushis and to take it and fill it with cream cheese.
Easy now. I'm just here for the sushi. I'm not here to bring cream cheese.
You know what? I'm actually with the
I
cream
am.
cheese.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring some
yeah.
cream cheese to that fucker. I'm gonna dip it in mayo. Good lord, we had sushi in fucking London.
Yeah.
In a very
They're allowed to do that?
Yeah. It was in what's it called? Golders Green, which is very not halal. What's the Jewish version of halal?
Kosher.
Kosher. All kosher restaurants, and so we had kosher sushi in London, and it was just they made a sushi roll. There was no shrimp. There was no
shellfish.
And then they would batter it and deep fry it like fish and chips.
Which,
That's
I mean, yummy.
hilarious.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Still
It was
yummy.
gre-
I'm
it
all
was
about that
greasy
shit.
and gnarly, but it was like, yeah, okay, this is just cooked fish, but yum.
There is another version of Hanako, which is Reiko, who's a character that it's a lady who crawls about the bathroom searching for victims to replace her missing legs.
Give me your legs, kids. Like that type of
Nice.
shit.
Yeah, well, like Hanako, you usually like hear her talking from a closed stall and she's,
Okay.
help me, and then you open it up, and then something awful happens.
No one's there. She's crawling from behind you now.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like Reiko is really maybe just looking to drag your legs underneath after you come to see like what's happening in this stall. And of course, Akadame, the red ghost, well, gross really, that scrubs dirty toilets with his long forked tongue. Because he's a toilet licker.
I know this guy. I know the toilet licker. Sorry, I don't know him. We went to high school together. But, a real creeper. This is like an extension of the fear of not having not cleaning your space or something.
Yeah, something's gonna clean it for you.
Yeah.
It very much seems like at some point parents were like, you have to do some more chores, otherwise.
Or else, listen, look, the other night,
fucking tongue ghost.
I went into the bathroom and there was a tongue ghost. I'm not gonna lie. And I had to kill it. And it was because you're not keeping the bathroom clean. So the next one I'm not gonna take care of for you. You're gonna have to take care of.
It's such an American thing to do, to be like, this is a ghost that you got to deal with proper care and whatnot. And Americans are like, I hit it with my shoe.
Yeah, I'll put a gun on your bedside cabinet right here. I don't want to hear you firing this unless there's a ghost.
Well,
yeah.
Speaking of American things, it turns out Calvin Coolidge, former president,
He was an American thing.
might.
That was the name of his biopic. Calvin Coolidge, American thing.
I didn't know this. Apparently, he died in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He was, apparently that bathroom remained haunted for some time.
Oh.
Writer Ruth Blyman shares her experience living at the beaches in Northampton, Massachusetts.
What happened to the cool man? How'd he die in the bathroom?
You're about to find out. The final home of former President Calvin Coolidge, most accounts said that in 1933, he suffered a heart attack and crashed into the bathroom sink.
Oh.
Some suspect suicide.
What?
I doubt it.
I gotta say, if your suicide plan is banging your face into the sink until you die, wow, you deserve
it's pretty metal.
All of that death.
It sounds more like his suicide plan was to have a heart attack somehow.
I'm gonna eat a lot of pork.
That's it. Yeah.
A lot of French fries. We're gonna get there.
Kapow. Okay, go on. Carry on.
Yeah. So previous owners had remodeled the room. This is right, Splyman, because they were uncomfortable with the killer sink. I looked for apparitions whenever I made my nocturnal trips to the bathroom.
Now, the killer sink, is that gonna stay or?
I not that I believe in curses. I just rather not have the sink that killed a president in the bathroom I use.
I mean, dude, look at the curse of Flight 401 or whatever. Those parts.
Move on. Plus, you should really honor the sink. It's not every day they get to live the American dream.
Bow down before the sink, you say. You're going to get what you deserve. I'm done.
You know what's weird? The last time I actually heard that song in the wild was at a post office in Portland, Oregon.
Nice. That seems to be the right place.
It felt real weird.
Yeah. That's it's really funny, actually.
They're never gonna let it die.
Just, yeah. Postal worker in black eyeliner. What do you want?
Well, and I was shipping 2 cans of Lucio Fulci's Zombie on 35 millimeter.
You could have stopped at 2 cans, man.
Anyway, the thing goes on to say, I imagined an anemic hand plunging up from the sink, grabbing me by the throat and crashing my head into the porcelain base.
Terrifying.
So was Calvin Coolidge murdered by a ghost hand? Who knows?
Could have been suicide. Kill the man, though. Sure, well, he did some bad stuff. Every president does. They're all war criminals.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this leads us to... I have a couple tabs open for most haunted bathrooms, and I think you might enjoy some of these. So number 1, we've got the Queen Anne Hotel in SF. This Victorian bed and breakfast used to be a girls' finishing school, and legend has it that the headmistress is still looming around, showing up in mirrors. Yeah, that's fun to think about when you wake up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. If you're brave, try staying in room 410, the Miss Mary Lake Suite. It doesn't go on to say what that is, but I assume there's some sort of spanking involved. This one is pretty fun. This is in Oatman, Arizona, the Oatman Hotel Restaurant and Saloon. The folks at the Oatman Hotel claim that the joint is haunted by numerous ghosts, including Clark Gable and his wife, Carol Lombard, who were frequent guests after spending their first married night here. And, of course, a drunk Irish miner named Odie, who likes to play the bagpipes, open windows, yank the sheets off beds, and flush toilets randomly.
Just a fun little scamp.
Yeah, Odie from Oatman.
I love that the most, to where he's just all like, that's a Casper type energy. Casper's found hobbies, he's learning new instruments. He's having a little prank night every once in a while, but that keeps things fresh.
He's making the most of his afterlife.
That's going to be me. At least that's what I say now. We'll see what happens. I'll probably become bitter.
Wow, you will be dead. Hard to not be.
But still quite savory.
Oh, I'm going to eat a lot of salt until I die.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another Arizona spot. This is the Hotel Congress in Tucson. The Hotel Congress has been open since 1919, and it's played host to some nefarious characters. John Dillinger and his gang stayed here.
Hell yeah.
But most gruesome of all, a guest took her own life in room 242.
Ooh.
You can still see the bullet hole in the wall. They never fucking covered it up.
Wow. Crazy.
You would think immediately that's the one thing you do, but
why wouldn't you just plaster that shit up?
That's history right there.
I
naturally,
guess.
It's a slice of history and a little bit of DNA.
naturally, room 242 was pretty paranormally active. One man reported that while staying there one night, he was awakened by his dog barking at the bathroom. He looked inside to find a bathtub mysteriously filled with water, and that all of his belongings had been shoved into the toilet. So did he have very few belongings, or this?
It was a big toilet. Yeah.
All of my belongings were various turds.
It was good that I ate all those clothes before getting on the plane.
Oh no, I ate my clothes and packed my turds. Usually it's the other way around. Sorry. All right.
Here's one from Galveston. This is the Hotel Galvez and Spa. The bathroom at the ladies' spa is one of many paranormal hotspots at the historic and haunted Hotel Galvez. One theory behind why so many people claim to see and hear the spirits of children throughout the hotel is that they're the ghosts of children who perished in the hurricane of 1900. Employees claim to hear the toilet flush repeatedly, followed by the disembodied giggles of children.
I don't like children ghosts. They're the freakiest for me.
Yeah, but
it's very sad to think that like they are in some way trapped.
Was this place made around 1900? How is the sewage? Are people just maybe flushing the toilets a bunch of times?
I don't know much about plumbing back then. I assume there were a lot of issues based on...
I don't know that we had much of it.
No, it was somewhat new up until the fucking 40s and shit. A lot of America did not have indoor plumbing.
All right, here's one. This is the Lemp Mansion in St. Louis. The thing about wealthy family empires, when they finally topple, they have a long fall down to rock bottom. Take the Lemps, for example. The family of German immigrants grew a small grocery store into the first brewery to distribute their sweet, life-giving elixir across the nation.
Nice.
Becoming one of the wealthiest and most influential families in St. Louis in the process. But prohibition, divorce, death, and depression soon brought down the Lemps. And most of the really dark stuff went down in their stately home, Lemp Mansion. 1838, John Adam Lemp came to St. Louis from Germany. Like many immigrants during his day, he opened a humble grocery store, but soon found that he was selling more of his homemade lager than anything else. Which is
Yeah, I don't think I know the
funny on
importance
its
of that
own.
to the story. Oh no!
His father had taught him the art of brewing back in Germany, and he aged the beer in a nearby cave. He decided to get out of grocerying and open a brewery, which was a good idea. His beer was a huge hit, and John Adam Lemp died a millionaire.
Whoa.
His son, William J. Lemp, grew the business even more, taking it across the nation with refrigerated rail cars and then across the world. Now, I, like some of you, have occasioned to partake in booze.
Sure.
And I have no idea what this guy's beer is.
It's never revealed?
No, I assumed that it was what ends up, he ends up getting, he sells out to Pabst.
Oh, okay. And okay, so
But before that, apparently it was just Lemp Brew or something.
Okay. Give me a pint of Lemp, barkeep. Maybe it's one of those like ultra local brews like Tivoli or something.
Yeah.
But in theory, he sold it across the entire nation. Well, the nation that was in 1830 something.
Yeah.
William Lemp had been grooming his fourth son, Frederick, to take control of the family business, but Frederick died at the tender age of 28 from a mysterious illness. To make matters worse for William, his dear friend, Frederick Pabst, died shortly after. Less than 2 months later, William was dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Oh, no.
His body was found in the family mansion. Things only got worse for the Lemps. Two of his children, William Jr. and Elsa, also committed suicide in 1922 and 1920, respectively. Both struggled with deteriorating relationships and the loss of the family business. After Prohibition in 1919, the brewery was shut down and the brewery building sold for pennies on the dollar.
What a sad, tragic story that definitely produced 80,000 ghosts.
Yeah, truly.
Well, and there's even more. I guess in the 1940s, his third son, Charles, killed himself. And I guess that was kind of the end of the legacy. He mailed a letter to a St. Louis funeral home with weird specific instructions, wanting his remains transported to a crematory, or crematory, however you want to pronounce it. I don't care. Sometimes you read things and it comes out weird.
Crematory.
Crematory.
So like, is it shaman or shaman? You know?
By ambulance and cremated immediately. He requested that his body not be bathed, clothed, or changed. He then wanted his ashes to be placed in a wicker box and buried on his farm without any funeral service or notice placed in the papers.
Oh my.
So this happens 8 years before he actually kills himself. It was just a fun thing that he wanted people to know.
Real fun.
Because 8 years later, he did shoot himself and his dog, leaving behind a note saying, St. Louis, Missouri, May 9th, 1949. In case I am found dead, blame it on no one but me. And then signed it. Anyway, getting back to bathroom stuff. If you go to the Lemp Mansion, and you can, it's now a like B&B with apparently a dinner theater.
Of course.
The downstairs women's restroom, once the private bathroom of William Jr., who shot himself and his dog. People frequently report seeing his ghost in there, peeking over the bathroom stalls.
Okay. Creeper.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean,
It goes on and on.
I have a bunch of other things. If
Let's
we wanna
do a
keep
part
going a
2
little bit.
again. These are some great ones.
We'll call it spooky toots part 2, back to the toilet.
I mean, and we could do another hour probably just on Hanako.
Nice.
I'm trying to make it so our bodies meld into one another.
We are the same. I guess I gotta bring us back to the main room of the bunker.
All right, yeah, it kind of works.
We're a mutant.
We are 3, yet is 1.
We are 3, yet as 1.
That's what happens every episode.
That was fun. Folks, thank you for listening to another episode of Werewolf Radar. We're having fun on YouTube these days. Come join us on YouTube. Watch instead of listen. Watch while you listen. See me and my ADHD to drag me away to my phone sometimes. Watch me put on lotion on my hands in glorious 4D. That's
put
right,
it on
all
your
4.
skin.
It's true. I put it right on my skin, or else I get the hose again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please check us out
Trying not to say it.
at werewolfradar.com. You got to get it out. Some of those jokes you just have to get out. It's like a splinter, or else it stays in, it gets infected, and that's how hemorrhages happen. Because you didn't tell a bad dad joke. Or a reference to a movie. I jumped on the grenade. We are on Twitch sometimes. We are on the internet all the time. Put
All the
Werewolf
time.
Radar into the internet and just fucking explore. Just be free. If you're hearing this on accident, I know you're here on purpose. But
Make it an accident for others.
Yeah, make it an accident for others.
Are you on a train? Are you on a bus? Turn that volume up. Take those.
Play it on public
headphones out.
speakers.
Surprise people with the podcast.
When they ask
And-
what this is, you tell them the future.
I'm not saying trap them in a box or a well in complete darkness and only play the podcast for them, because I can't legally say that. So just tell your friends. The best way you can help us, give us 5 stars. You could join us on Patreon. You get an extra ep every week if you're not already doing it.
Plus other stuff depending
Tell
on
your
tier.
friends. Tell your friends. We'll make some stickers. Put stickers on cops.
Honestly, yes.
Windshields.
Put stickers on cops. Take a picture. Get arrested. Get out.
Tell your friends.
I'll send you another sticker for doing it.
Yep. I put this on a cop, and all I got was a year of probation. All right, folks. Until next time, as ever, our sign-off line on the count of 3. Please join us. 1, 2, 3. Punch the sky!
Spaceman Joe.